Now let me take you back for a second or two. Childhood raps take you back for a minute, when times were more simple and you lived with your parents. Before you went to college and you started paying taxes. Remember these shows that you watched as a kid. Childhood raps take you back.
Okay, so we are at the home location yet again. I don't know whether or not I'm going to have this one uploaded first or I'm going to have Mau Mau uploaded first. I know the My Little Pony reactions are going to be up like October 12th. So, yeah, I have been on a reacting binge this weekend because within everything that's going on, my wife went to the gym one night. Now she's at a baby shower. And then she's going to have like a 2-hour stretch of stuff to do after she gets back from the baby shower. And honestly, I'm going to quit reacting after this episode. Well, yeah, this episode. Not quit reacting in general, but quit reacting for the weekend. And then sit right here and play me some Final Fantasy VII, because I have been a couple weeks now without playing Final Fantasy VII. And I am wanting to get back to that. So, yeah. Season 3. Wait, how am I saying Season 3? I'm not there yet. Season 2, Episode 3 is where we're at. And last thing we know is there's a new sheriff back in Valderas. Or Valdero? I think it's Valdero. So we're going to go with Valdero. And it was like Quaid the Blade. He ain't technically a new sheriff, but he came back. He's protecting the village. He's got a deputy sheriff now. It's the old girl from the beginning of the season, and that's cool. Cool beans. I like it. I knew she'd come, because she was so heavily involved in the first episode of the season. I knew she would have a bigger role to play in the season, so yeah, cool beans. I don't know where we're going though. Dark, I think the ultimate goal, I believe, is to head towards the Dark Kingdom. Kingdom of, no, not Kingdom of Darkness. It was a shorter phrase. I don't know. Hopefully here soon we're going to get more with, I think her name was Adira. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember her name because we haven't had her on here like every episode. Well, we've only had 2 episodes so far this season, so I can't really complain that much. Maybe she'll be in this episode. I'm not 100% sure, but hopefully, we don't have a lot of filler this season. Granted, I believe the last episode was pretty much filler, but hopefully this episode will lead us down the storyline, and then the next episode will be story-driven. I like, whenever I know there's a bigger story to everything, I like it to stay story-driven all through the whole series. If it's a slice of life with a little bit here and there, okay, I'm cool with that. Like My Little Pony, for the most part, it's a slice of life, show. But, you're going to have some major plot points at the beginning of the season, a little bit sprinkled here and there throughout the season, and then at the end it's going to be plot heavy again. I understand that with MLP, but when I know there is such a big overarching story, I want it to be continuously. I wasn't sure where I was going with that. That's why I said that so slow. But I want it to be continuously throughout the whole season. But I've got to know that I can't expect that with every series. Pretty much with something like Steven Universe, we get something pretty much that's needed in every episode. There's not many fillers in Steven Universe, just like Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls might have had one filler. Just one. And I can't remember which one that is. Granted, some people would argue there's more, and I could see that argument. I mean, there were some episodes that really didn't pertain that much to the overarching story. But, yeah. Okay, so I'm out of things to say, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get this to come back up again, and we're going to do our normal thing. I'm going to hit play, then I'm going to say skip, and then we're going to jump into the episode, and by the time this episode's over, my wife should be home. So, with that said, putting these earbuds in, time for the countdown. 3, 2, 1, and play. Skip! Okay, y'all, so I'm trying not to watch that opening.
Just how much this time in Varderos has meant to us. We may have come.
Are we still in Valderos?
I'd like to think we're leaving.
And
as
why do I have to look at Shorty?
In the spirit of that friendship, we would like to share a Corona tradition with all of you.
Boo!
I like you.
I got food at last year's festival too. Don't worry, this is gonna be fantastic. Friends aren't really the goodwill kind of crowd.
Hey, Goodwill, you Claude?
I know people.
I'm gonna go look up what Claude means.
Edges, but don't deserve to have a good time.
This is Sneeze Weasel country.
I'm so sorry. What's a sneeze weasel?
It's a mammalian omnivore indigenous to this region whose primary diet is gophers, foxes, and voles.
Shorty, how do you know so much about sneeze weasels?
I used to be one.
Oh.
Look, someone's signing up for the.
It's Shorty. What do you expect?
And you thought the.
Okay, I'll sign up.
Oh my goodness, you sound like such a wimp. Sorry out there for anybody who has the same voice.
Goodwill, remember?
Not calling you a wimp, just him.
Anyone else want to wrestle me for the pen? You lose, you sign up.
Okay, I think y'all figured out what sells around this town.
It wasn't Cass's intention to injure 16 people. It's 23.
Yeah, get your numbers right, Raps.
I haven't seen folks that excited in years. Nice job. When you told me about this goodwill nonsense.
What do you say? You want to be my co-planner?
Co-planning?
No.
Why not?
Only if she's allowed to fight people.
Of course you can.
I was actually asking Cass.
So Cassandra found somebody that looks up to her instead of Rapunzel. That's nice.
You Claude?
Like I said, not final. Okay, after all, twice as much means twice as much.
So we're going to compete
I agree.
against each other's festivals now.
Everybody wins.
Um,
Then it's settled. I'm glad.
Cassandra would definitely win this one, considering.
It's what friends
Whatever.
do. Or anything.
Okay, well, y'all are obviously shaking hands for way too long. After that long of shaking hands, it's no longer a friendly handshake.
Ooh, that's 65 apples for me.
Guess how many? 630. I'm way off.
Ready?
Okay, Shorty seems like he was going to enjoy this way too much.
Long time since I've been thrown into a good wall of honey.
I forgot what Shorty called this little thing.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, goodness, no. Don't go by the picture that Shorty probably drew.
I just wanted to say. Wait a minute. I know what this is.
She thinks that you're trying to spy on her.
No, I'm not. Why would I do that? I just figured since yours were so disastrous.
I hate your events. You Claude?
Is she just following me around? I tried telling you, these people are edgy, and sadly, you have no edge. No edge? No edge? Oh,
Okay, I think this episode's about to take a turn, and
so much edge.
Rapunzel's about to get an edge and come up with new events. No, I'm wrong. Never mind.
Edgiest grab ever.
Not on purpose, but you will hold the edgiest grab ever. Wait, whose ideas are all these?
What? Not edgy enough? I just wanted to say, I'm impressed. Are you damaged, Fitzherbert?
Well,
Yes, he
if
is.
you mean this is a brilliant way to force you two to work it out, then yes, color me damaged. If not, this was clearly Max's idea.
No, it wasn't.
What do you boys got in there?
Uh-oh.
Grab that gopher.
That's not a gopher.
What is it?
It's a gopher!
No, it's not.
This is bad. We should probably run.
Although it looks like a gopher. When are you gonna get your cat named Clovis?
Get him, girls!
All right, ugly.
Don't worry, kid. We got this.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we may not actually have this.
You drew him as big as a tree!
Oh, it was you that drew him.
Those trees are in the background.
Eugene!
His name's Snoozing!
You ready to run?
I don't think it's the time, Lance.
I was acting like a sore loser? Crybaby? Jerk? Wow.
Not that many insults, but okay.
But hey, I could have done things differently too. I'm sorry I got so competitive. And mean.
Oh, that's a nice way of working it out. And it's gonna be stuck to the honey wall. Okay.
Next time, the princess draws the picture.
Good point, because
I'll make sure you.
Rapunzel actually knows how to draw.
Nice plan, Raps.
So, you're really leaving us, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good. It's about time.
Here are gonna be sad to see me go.
Oh, I don't know. I think they were starting to take a shine to you.
Really?
No, they still don't like you.
You Claude.
But that doesn't matter. Vaderos is a better town because you came through it.
Good point.
Thank you, princess. I hate you and everything you stand for!
You Claude.
There you go. Finally, we're leaving this place. I mean, it's not a bad thing that we stayed around for so long, but still. Okay, well that was quite an abrupt ending, so yeah. I mean, it wasn't that bad of an episode, but it feels like another filler. Plus, on top of that, it feels like we've already seen this episode from season 1 when Cassandra wanted to, you know, do the whole Champions event by herself without Rapunzel. She wanted to, you know, do something besides be the lady in waiting, or what, you know, she called it, yeah, that's what she said. She wanted to be something besides Rapunzel's lady in waiting. And then Rapunzel, of course, joined in on it and kind of stole the spotlight. And they had their little argument then as well. And I feel like we're just revisiting that little, you know, that kind of episode. Granted, yeah, it's not a bad thing to revisit it because friends, you know, friends will argue from time to time. Friends will have a disagreement and stuff like that. It's understandable. But I just... We're revisiting and retreading the same thing over again, but it was a nice little ending with Quaid the Blade telling Rapunzel, look, they might not like you, but this town is a better place for having you come through it. So, yeah, she made an ally, at least. And, yeah, I mean, there's not much to this episode, in my opinion. I mean, Cassandra, though, I did notice that she had, oh, what is her name? Vax or Vex. It's one of those two names. Cassandra, not Cassandra, but the deputy sheriff's name is either Vax or Vex. It's one of those two, but Cassandra had her looking up to her. And that's kind of the first time that we've seen that Cassandra's had somebody actually looking up to her, as opposed to everyone looking towards Rapunzel and looking up towards her and thinking that she's the best thing ever, because what we've seen so far is nothing but Corona. We haven't seen anything but that. And to sit here and have, going outside the walls of Corona, I wish we would actually get some story on Corona while we're doing all this, such as, the king and queen and how they're coping with not having Rapunzel there. But we're outside the walls of Corona, and Cassandra is now seemingly flourishing, as opposed to, Rapunzel, who's the one has to learn stuff now. So, yeah, it's a good episode for the most part, but it feels like filler. I don't mind filler as long as it's good. And now that I think about it, Shorty did look a lot like that sneeze weasel. So, maybe he did used to be one. I don't know. So, yeah. Kind of sucks that I can't really think of much else to say about the episode, but it's going to be, I don't know, maybe all these, towns that they go through on their way to the end goal here will end up actually being, allies, and then by the end of it, they'll actually form such an alliance that she'll have plenty of help whenever she gets to wherever she needs to get to. So, yeah, I'm done. It is now up to y'all. Hit that like, tickle to subscribe. Don't be texting and driving. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And, as Mr. Rogers always says,
and I like you as you are, I do.